During World War II, the conflict in the North Pacific caught up with Guam. The island was to become the only US territory occupied by the Japanese when it was taken over for 31 months from 1941. Here at Asan Bay was one of the main landing points for the American invasion to recapture Guam from the Japanese in 1944. Today, the US presence in Guam remains strong, with military facilities dominating the landscape and more than 23,000 military personnel and dependents on the island. More than half a century ago, the North Pacific region saw its fair share of action. The US naval victory over a Japanese fleet off the islands of Midway in 1942 was the most famous, and without doubt one of the turning points of World War II. Notwithstanding, the proud island of Guam has not forgotten its own role and today still honours its heroes and veterans. The island is home to 6 War in the Pacific historic parks, full of military relics and unparalleled World War II artefacts.
On July 21st, 1944, American GIs under the direction of Admiral Nimitz and General MacArthur landed here on Asan Beach. Took them about 3 weeks to totally retake the island. My father was in that war. He was in the Navy. He was a signalman. This is his old cap. Like so many sailors and soldiers on both sides of the Pacific, he learned a lot more than just how to maintain a ship and play poker. He entered the war as a boy and came back a man.
First pictures of America's sky-fighting men snapping the Japs at Midway Island. These dramatic films were made by our Navy fighter pilots. Down below, a Jap cruiser circles out to direct bomb hits. Hundreds of Jap planes are knocked down by anti-aircraft fire. At least 18 Japanese ships are put out of action by American Army, Navy, and Marine flyers. Steaming north from Midway, Admiral Nimitz decorates Navy heroes. But this was no battle of ships. Navy and Army planes did this job. Now Army airmen tell their own story.
What did you first think when you first saw these, when you first saw the enemy? What was your... Well, we've been looking for it for a long time. We said, thank God they're here. Thank God they're here. Then what did you do? I got a couple of good shots, a couple of the fighters. Oh, you did? You knocked them down. Well, they didn't come back. Didn't come back.
What actually did you attack?
The carrier. We picked out the largest carrier we could find in the fleet. And both torpedoes struck right at the bow.
You encountered a great amount of anti-aircraft fire.
Yes, anti-aircraft fire was terrific. Traces were everywhere. Any damage to the plane?
Yes, I had all the hydraulic systems shot out, one tire shot off, gas tanks punctured about 25 rounds in each tank.
We landed under adverse conditions, in other words.
Yes.
First day we hit about 30 ships of all types, battleships, cruisers, destroyers, transports. Second day we hit the carriers.
Any luck with them?
Oh, yes. Locked right in there. My bombardier, he can tell you about it. What's your name, Lieutenant? I dropped my first 4 on a large battleship, the largest thing we could find down there. 4 of them hit it. 2 hit. 2 near misses. And the second day we dropped 8 on the first ship. I dropped 8.
Well, you really got 2 cracks then, right?
2 cracks.
Oh.
Damaged the carrier. How badly, of course, we didn't know at the time.
Well, I hope you see a lot more of them.
How did you feel when you first saw the enemy ships? We got just a little bit touched up, but didn't last long. As soon as things started popping, we settled down all right.
At Veterans Park, hundreds pay homage each year to those islanders who died in conflicts around the world. Guam's local forces are small in number, but they fight under 2 flags, their own and that of the United States.
I'm proud to serve my island, my country, in any place, anytime, like I said. under the flag of the United States and under the flag of Guam.
The Japanese soldiers themselves are not forgotten. Various museums and shrines remember all those who fought and died on this tiny island.